probably already know who Banksy is, but if you don't, he's a very famous street artist from Britain, but has paintings in literally every major city. He's really prolific, and he is a very socio-political orientated artist. Most, if not all, of his pieces of art have some sort of message behind them he's using to deter or challenge some kind of organisation. Like, famously, he has the missile thrower on the West Bank, just sort of showing the protests going on there, and innumerable other ones. He has very Brexit-centric ones in Dover, all different ones in Paris, in Germany, everywhere. Every major city there's at least one Banksy somewhere. And he does it because he has messages to send, but nobody knows who Banksy is, basically. He has kept his identity a secret for about 20 years. He has, gone under the radar, though there are some sort of speculations and guesses as to who he might be. General consensus is that we don't know who he is. And that raises a lot of questions. Of course, yes, he has his ideologies, but some of these pieces, if you think of his newest piece, he had a coronavirus lockdown piece on a train, on the London Underground, and that got cleaned away, and that was the entire train car had an estimated value of millions of pounds, but it was cleaned away, which on the London Underground, any graffiti is cleaned away almost instantaneously. They have a very strict policy, and people are saying, why are people so upset that it's cleaned away? They clean away anyone's. That's the policy. You're not allowed to scribble on the walls. You're not allowed to do that without permits, which yes, he does have permits sometimes, but not always. He has come very close to legal trouble, especially his Guantanamo Bay stunt in, I can't remember if it was Disney World or Disneyland, but he did pull a big stunt where he built replicas of the prisoners in the orange jumpsuits in Guantanamo Bay and put them in the, decorations of one of the big roller coasters there. So he has definitely come into very close to getting into trouble, and people always challenge him, why is he being allowed to do this? Why does he not get punished? And yes, of course, he is not knowing who he is. It's hard to punish someone you don't know who's doing it. But yes, of course, there are some people who do know, and it would be very easy. It's not like it's impossible if the police fully crack down on him, because government tend to be quite supportive. Like the Mayor of London came out and apologised to Banksy and said, you can come back and do it again after they cleaned it up, which I don't think the attitude to any other underground artists on the tube would get. They'd probably get fined and even at some point a sentence. So yes, he does what he does out of, I guess, a good place in his heart, in his mind, his ethics. Like, I do agree with quite a few of his ideologies, so I kind of support him, but the way he's going about it does blur the line between, the legality of street art and vandalism. But yes, of course, I think there are some quite dumb rules regarding painting on walls. Like, it's not damage to anyone. Like, yes, if he went and defaced a store building to the point where it was just heinous, that's wrong. But what he mainly does is on just vacant walls, they cause no trouble. And in my opinion, the ones I walked past in London, they make the place better. They improve the place. It's just art. It is art. We should be allowed to do it. But then again, if we are allowing him to do it, we'll have to allow everyone to do it. But we don't allow everyone to do it, so then we have to challenge the legality of his, which comes into place. And then the ethics of his, yes, of course he does it, as I've said, from a good place, and he's doing it with his challenging. So his ethics must be that it is the necessary, to commit this sort of petty vandalism type shit to demonstrate his acts. It's his way of protest, is to break the little laws to potentially raise bigger laws. He's now currently, I don't know if he's still doing it, but he had a boat funded that he completely decorated to go out and rescue the migrants off Greece who had been stranded by the Greek authorities. And technically you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that, full stop. But he's doing that, again, blurring the line of legality for his own ethics. He believes they has to do this, so he does it against the legal system. So he has this varying sort of system of ethics, basically, and he has a huge message he wants to send, and it does vary from painting to painting, but he has a wider message, which I would tell you if I was certain of it, but I think the best way to figure it out for yourself is to just look through his art and look through the things he said through the years. Said he doesn't say things explicitly; he says them through mediums. But look at them and devise your own meaning of his message, because there's definitely a significance to society as a whole. His paintings are definitely social commentaries. He wants to chance and challenge real things. He wants to make a change, and he thinks the best way is by demonstrating this, and his ethics system allows him to do this because he thinks it's more important than these vandalism laws, basically. And lucky him, he's escaped the fines for a long time, and I think even if he was fined, he has the money to be fine. But yes, he is a political protest, basically. He is a forceful movement challenging the set ethics system of law to see if breaking this one law is worth, the art justice that he can cause if he manages, to succeed, which, I think he's come close to genuine success with his art, but I think all of it's still a work in progress because he does try similar themes. It's very similar themes and everything, and I do love Banksy's art as well. It's a very cool style. If you don't know it, which I'd be surprised if you don't, look into it. He's a wonderful style. He's a stencilist. I have one. That is a Banksy there. That's one of his. So yes, that's just Banksy, basically.